Hey everybody, welcome to Beer to Baker Bets. We are back in preparation for Sunday baseball. We're going to start off with a little bit of Masters recap from last weekend, which was rather wet and rainy. So we'll get into that stuff. Trent, Trey, welcome.
What's up, Tyler? What's up, Trent?
Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. All our listeners out there.
Mom, Dad.
Yeah, Tyler, like you said, Tyler, it was a very weird Masters. They played multiple different rounds. I think on like Saturday and Sunday. It was like the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. Overall, though, Masters was, I think, a success. Pretty entertaining. It kept me interested, and yeah, it was one of the weekends I look forward to, and it lived up to it, in my opinion.
Lived up to it, huh? Yeah, that wasn't even on purpose, was it?
No, it wasn't. I'm not gonna lie.
It took me back to those days of when you could go to a local golf course, pay $20 for the month, and golf anywhere from 9 to 18 to 27 holes in one day.
Did you walk 15 miles bare feet, Trent?
Yes, uphill both ways. But no, I mean, I thought it was very interesting that they were able to golf more than 18 holes in a day.
Yeah.
But I mean, you would expect those types of golfers to be able to do such a thing. But I loved it. I thought it was. Granted, I would have really, really liked to have been able to watch it all day on Saturday. That's one of my favorite days when, guys start to make their last push on the Saturday. But
that's moving day.
Dude, they literally went live, and like 5 minutes in, they're like, "Well," and that's the day.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, we're gonna recap all of this, and we're gonna show you everything that happened before this." I'm like, "Wow, this is really uneventful." But okay, thanks.
Okay, so first debatable topic that I'm going to bring up. Do you think that factors into like the players? Do you think them having to play more than 18 holes in a day? Do you think some people got tired? Do you think some people mentally got worn out? Like,
absolutely.
Say Brooks Koepka only had to play 18 that day on Sunday. Does he get to rest? Does he get to recover? And does he have to come back stronger and not play the way he did the last 18 holes?
I mean, one of the fighters watching the UFC fight here. One of the golfers, I think that you may have seen it take a toll on was Tiger. And
yeah.
Did he bow out because he was golfing terrible? I don't know, but I mean, a big question I had was, being one of the guys that I picked as like a long shot to win, did Zalatoris actually shit his pants on the course having stomach issues? Is that why he actually dropped out? That was a big question I had. I got my bet refunded, but I'm wondering if he actually dropped the shit on the course.
He white golf pants, had a brown patch in the back.
No. Yeah, guys, he actually did get back surgery.
No, he had stomach issues.
No,
yes.
He just got back surgery,
No.
Tyler.
He
literally got
back around
surgery.
his ass because he shit himself.
Sounds like the Paul Pierce of the PGA, huh?
Dude, it gives a whole new meaning to shooting in the rough.
Wheelchair it off the green. No, in all seriousness, I really hope he recovers well from that back surgery, because golfers and backs, speaking of Tiger and his struggles, it's a serious thing. So he's a young, talented player, so I hope he does.
Can I also say something about the Tiger Woods thing? Like, I don't want to imply he dropped out because he was golfing bad. I mean, the guy is lucky to actually have both his legs. And two, rumor had it from Jason Day is that one of his screws from his
that was
surgically repaired was coming through. Is that true?
It's an old article. And it's funny because,
it was?
Yeah, I did the research because I saw the same thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's horrible. And that was an old article, I think it was over a year old, of one of the tournaments that he actually didn't play in. But isn't that funny, though, how that stuff resurfaces?
It totally resurfaced.
Like that, because it went viral. You saw it, I saw it.
What's the foot injury that
plantar fasciitis?
Yeah, that's what he was dealing with. I mean, the guy in that type of weather, you're not. And plus, I'm sure seeing that he's totally not in contention, that totally helped. But can I say one of my favorite things about Masters weekend was good old Phil Mickelson making that late push there. I love it because after Fred Couples, I think Fred Couples was the oldest guy to make this weekend. After he just sat there and trashed Phil Mickelson like the way he did, and then Phil just comes out and shoots a -7 or something like that on the last day. Wasn't he? Maybe a -8. I mean, holy cow! Like the guy is, and he just how much money he just made by placing that high, by pushing that last day. I love it.
So Trent, I'm gonna kind of piggyback that. Not only was I happy about Phil and his late push and where he ended up finishing and stuff, but I really didn't have a dog in the fight or a horse in the race. You know, as one of my favorite sayings is,
or a cream to the crop top.
Yeah, but no, I was just trying to enjoy the Masters. But after the first Thursday and Friday, hearing and Brooks Koepka was leading the field, hearing the commentators just downplay the Masters and downplay the leaderboard because they were unhappy that a live guy was leading.
Oh yeah.
You know what that made? You know what that did for me? That made me cheer for the live guys even more. Yeah. Because here we are, these PGA analysts, these professionals that are supposed to be like talking up the game, whatever, and they're downplaying the greatest golf tournament every year because they're unhappy with the person that's winning.
Well, at one point it was like 4 of the top 5 were live players.
Oh, dude, I think it was 16 of the 20 live golfers.
Wow.
Made the cut. Okay.
Well, I'm saying like near the end, it was like 4 of the top 5 were live golfers.
Three of the top 5. Okay. Yeah, and even that is impressive because their world golf ranking,
right,
which apparently is supposed to be the end all be all metric for ranking golfers. They were out of the top 50. And here they are winning in the top 5. And like I said, didn't have a horse in the race, didn't have a dog in the fight. Didn't really care until I heard.
Did you have a fish in the pond at least, or what?
Well, I might have had a.
I'm just trying to give you. Okay.
You know what I mean? But no
that's unique.
A chicken in the cockfight. That's what I said.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what you're doing with water.
Said a cock in a cockfight. That got real weird.
All right, whatever. No, so anyway, when I hear
time?
When I hear Brandel Chambly crying about Brooks Koepka and the live guys at the top, that ultimately makes me cheer for them because they're in there for the same reason. They just want to play good golf. We all want to see them all compete. Don't sit there and take away from the greatest golf tournament ever because you aren't pleased with the outcome so far.
Right.
So,
well, and I think what was said is by John Rahm, who won. He put it in exactly the same terms that we stated last episode, that all our listeners heard, which was
be a goldfish.
No, the fact that Liv came around, it forced the PGA to increase the amount of money, adjust the tournament setups and styles. And even Rahm stated it's sad that it had to take a whole entire creation of another league to push the PGA to do it. So I am looking forward to see where it goes. I mean, I think there's a lot of money in it. I do think in the future, at least I hope, and I think it might have been Trey that said this, is I am hoping that the PGA and LIV can at least come to the same table and create some sort of cup, like the Ryder Cup style play, with your top LIV golfers, your top PGA golfers, and that would be, honestly, if you put that on a weekend, I'm telling you, could you imagine the viewership that you're going to get? Let's sponsor it, guys. Let's put it out there. The bearded Baker, I don't know what we call it. But
you imagine we might have
but I'm trying to think of the golf tournament.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we could also just sell golf balls and call bearded Baker balls.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, but
we'll put our balls in the cockfight.
I was gonna say not to be confused with Trey's cockfights.
Chickens in the cockfight. No, but Trent, to kind of once again piggyback on what you said, 18.3 million people tuned in from the peak time frame of the Masters on Sunday, which is I think like I think it was $4 million more than the next closest. That's not a coincidence. There's a reason why that happened, and I truly think it was because it was holy crap, is a live guy going to win the Masters the first year that this is a big thing? And like you said, I think this, if anything, is going to lead into this PGA versus live thing, because they realize how much money is to be made off of it.
Well,
on both ends of the spectrum. Live can make a bunch off of it. They can get more popular based off of being televised in a huge setting.
Yeah.
PGA can make money off of it because it's just another opportunity there for them to make money.
I think anytime anytime you get people competing with things, everybody wins. You know what I mean?
When it's something versus something, it draws attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trent, another thing, you talked about the change of the PGA schedule. And then making elevated events and stuff. Well, I think one of the more interesting stories, not related to the Masters, is Rory McIlroy and his lack of participation in these elevated events that he personally changed the rules to promote. You hear it on both sides that, I'm surprised he withdrew from, I forget where it was earlier in the year, but then he misses the cut of the Masters, and now he's not playing in the RBC Heritage, which is a very popular tournament. PGA, like Xander Schauffele, Joel Damon, guys, they're even starting to question him. Ask why, hey man, you're the one that pushed for all this, and you're not even here. It's starting to, his actions are speaking louder than his words.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say.
But let's get away from golf. That was enough on that. But yeah, I think golf is it's developing, and there's a lot of interesting storylines going on.
What's the next major?
I believe it's the PGA. No, it's the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Is it really? That's late too. That's July. But
no, wait, maybe it's not then. Let's look. No, it's the PGA Championship, May 18th.
See, and that was the one. That was the thing that Tiger withdrew from, Trent. That it's at the PGA Championship. It wasn't Masters.
But now, Liv cannot participate in that, correct?
No, they can. They can in all the majors.
Even if it's a PGA Championship.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I was going to say that'd be interesting to see that.
But I thought they said all four majors though they'll be able to participate in.
We'll look into it then.
Yep. All right.
So transitioning a little bit into the sport of, I don't know, I guess, sport
America's
of the month.
pastime.
America's pastime. I mean,
yeah.
We are looking at baseball here. Obviously, on today being Jackie Robinson Day, which was extremely hard to follow who was actually pitching, hitting, doing anything in the field because everyone wore 42. That was extremely hard for me to figure out as I was watching the game. I'm like, who's pitching now? Oh,
not if you're a diehard O's fan. You know them all. You know them all.
What was funny is I even listened to some of the announcers and stuff because I was watching the Orioles game, and they're like, this is where it gets really hard. Is now you get into relief pitching, and we have no clue who's in right now. But now it was a good day of baseball. A lot of games, a lot of competition. I'm trying to figure out if the Rays are now on the slide. I don't know.
No.
Frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, props to them. I mean, that's pretty amazing what the Rays did. They were what, they tied the MLB record for
13
wins
consecutive. Yeah.
I mean, tough game. They almost made a comeback late against the Jays, but
yeah, they got McClanahan pitching tomorrow, which would be unique.
I'm not going to touch him. Not going to touch him at all. 2 days in a row. The only 2 times. I mean, I've been riding the streak for a while, but I haven't made any of my official picks.
Yeah.
But of course that happened. But yeah. I would like to start with a conversation I think Tyler and I had recently, which was sometimes baseball, with the way the lines are made, we talk about how hard it can be to really cap it and really, lock in on sorts of trends. And I think what's so frustrating sometimes with baseball is, even lines that are like, you look at a pick and it's like minus 170, minus 160, and they miss. That's what's frustrating, is because I feel like in a lot of other sports, like college basketball, NBA basketball, football in general, especially NFL, bookmakers are so good at getting the lines right. Whereas maybe it's just
sometimes
because
to a point where the hook is the one to get you.
Yeah, but what's so incredible is what I think is so frustrating is a lot of times, like on a lot of the things that we like to bet on, rather than just money line, run line, over under, like prop type bets or like portions of game type bets, it's tough to cap it. And I feel like a lot of times, I think the books struggle to cap those things. So they slap a number on it with the odds, and I don't know. I feel like they have some very, very generic numbers that they constantly go to. And like I look at a lot of the final fives, like it's usually over under 4.5 runs for half a game. Right. And sometimes you can get that on spreads that are higher or lower.
I mean, first five.
Sorry. Over under. Yeah. Sorry. I always say that. First fives. Yeah. Over and unders 4.5. So I don't know. I just feel like that's why sometimes I feel like when we get a little frustrated with a pick that misses, I think the books struggle to truly cap it themselves. If I'm accurate in saying that way, I don't know, but I thoroughly actually I've grown to enjoy picking baseball.
Yeah. It's very finesse.
Yes.
Yeah, and like you said, Trent, baseball is all about like averaging out the most likely outcome. There's 162 games in a season. Think about that for every team. Think about the amount of opportunities there are to bet on baseball.
Yeah.
And you're telling me bookmakers and everything can accurately cap every single game at every single possible bet in those? Like Tyler started betting on pitchers hits allowed, which I mean, I love it, and that's great because there's got to be an edge. There has to be. Like, there's no way bookmakers can like sit at every single game every day and make an accurate assessment of those lines.
That's tough too, because not every single book has that either. Like I would make the argument that DraftKings probably has the most different prop bets that you're able to find, because
Tyler, the one you pointed out to me though that I think is hilarious is the fact that you can bet on how many pitches are actually thrown in an inning.
Yeah, and
wow.
Like 14 to 20 was actually a range.
That's a little bit degenerate.
I hit it.
That's kind of pushing the envelope there, Trent. I don't know.
I thought that was super cool.
I think I took a McClanahan.
I mean, that's insane. Actually,
it was McClanahan, and I think I put down, it was like 14 to 20 or something. It might have been like 9 to 15 or something. It was something crazy, like 9 to 15 for pitches thrown. I think it was like the first inning, and it hit. And I think he threw like 12. And I was like, all right, hey. But I do like finding those things. I do agree too, though, with the fact that, like, you guys mentioned, like, numbers are generic, because being a guy that does look, I love the first five, plus a half run bets, because they're, if you tie, you can kind of get it.
Right.
But I love looking at the pitcher props, especially. Obviously, I was big on the K props there for a while, and I still do the K props. And I've actually been a little bit more trying to find pitchers that are like overcapped, meaning I'm looking for like guys that are at like 6.5 Ks, and I'm looking to take the under on those. As opposed to like I used to take, like, a lot of them, like you guys mentioned, a lot of them are 4.5, 5.5. And it's like, all right, well, that's a very generic number. And if you have like almost every single pitcher at that number, where's your advantage? And the same thing with the hits allowed. I'm finding hits allowed right now, the heavy number for hits allowed is 5.5. And which is it's tough. I mean, I didn't win today. I won the other day with Turnbull from the Tigers, but but he gave up 6 hits. I mean, that's like right there. So I don't know.
With your hits allowed bets, Tyler,
Mm-hmm.
do they require a certain amount of innings pitched?
No, not that I'm aware of. It just says hits
So
allowed.
it's probably smarter to bet the under, because what if they get rocked and pulled
Or injured.
Well, yeah. And what did I hit?
or hurt? Yeah.
Right, and that was kind of what I was thinking. I think today was Tyler Anderson, and what did I take 5.5 or 6.5? Was it 5.5?
5.5.
I took under 5.5, and I think going into the fourth he was at 3. Yeah, and then he gave up 5 more hits, so I didn't win. But like at the same time, Tyler Anderson's a guy that especially I used to bet on a lot when he was with the Pirates because he was one of their dudes. I don't know. I mean, it is hit or miss, if you will. I'm still kind of taking a peek at some of the walks in terms of how many pitchers get walks and stuff like that. One guy I love to bet against, meaning I don't know. I mean, I always felt like he was a good pitcher, but he's very easy to bet against with things, and it's Madison Bumgarner from the Diamondbacks. Like anytime he's pitching, I'm looking at either what are his hits, because I'm going to take the over on that. And if I'm looking at Ks, I'm probably going to take the under on his Ks if it's 5 or less.
You've been betting his unders a lot.
Yeah, under on Ks is good. He got rocked today, I think it was.
2 days ago.
Mm.
I think I put that out there.
I kind of I'm agreeing with Trent. I like the challenge of trying to cap baseball, trying to find like trends and bets and like being consistent with it, because it is a challenge, but there's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And every single day it's like, okay, like what can, I don't know, like what's the edge on this certain type of bet. One thing I've noticed is teams are not, like, I think bullpens aren't performing.
Not at all.
And that, no. And,
for anybody.
And I think overs are a good bet because of that reason.
For now.
So when it comes for me with baseball and betting, I'm all about the over-unders and total runs.
Look at if you look at teams too, because I try to go back and I try to see when teams score. Like when I'm looking at a lot of bets, especially for pitcher stuff, a lot of their runs are coming in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th inning.
Can we also say that? No, it's not even that. It's when you're multiple. Pitcher. No, it's once you go through a lineup more than once.
Yes.
You know, once you went through
this is the second. Time I've seen a pitcher.
Always once your second time through a lineup, and granted, that is your pitch numbers are up. You've lost a little juice. Sure. The game has things have happened. You know, you're a little tired, but it has to do with this is the second time now I've seen the pitcher in the game. You know, so.
But I'm saying that's also when you start to see the bullpen come in, is the 5th, 6th, 7th inning.
Hopefully not till the 6th or 7th, unless the guy's getting rocked.
And to comment on the bullpen and the runs scored, a big thing with the bullpen and bullpen pitchers is just breaking up rhythm, right? Mm-hmm. Like throwing different types of pitches, off speed, like getting hitters out of their rhythm. Well, guess what they can't do anymore?
Yeah.
They can't do their mound antics. They can't do their step offs. They can't because now you got a pitch clock you got to abide to, and hitters get in a rhythm just like pitchers do, and
or the throws over the bases.
Right, and I feel like relief pitchers thrive off of the off rhythm stuff more.
The mind games.
And exactly. Yeah. And they don't have that anymore. And
totally.
That's a good point.
I think that if you can, for me, I like betting over unders. If I can find pitchers that are either knockout or lights out, and they have a hefty run total, obviously I'm going to take the under. But if there's questionable pitchers at a 7.5, 8.5 line, I'm thinking over mainly because of the bullpen. And hey, these teams can score 5 runs between them while the starters are pitching. The bullpen's going to take over, and hey, that's 5 more runs. Yeah. Who knows? But I don't know.
And maybe I missed this. What was the one guy? Was he Australian? The guy from the White Sox there? He was a closer.
He's recovering from cancer.
Liam Hendricks. Yeah,
Liam Hendricks.
No way. I didn't know that.
I think it was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Jeez, I didn't know that, man. I loved watching him pitch.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back this year. He made a.
But he's still with the White Sox?
Yep.
Okay. Because every time, like, I feel like I don't know why I watch the White Sox play a lot, mainly because I like to bet on their pitching. But
They're pretty entertaining.
Hey, your boy's on the bump tomorrow, Ty. Dylan Cease is
Oh, I
on the
know,
bump tomorrow.
But
He's against my Orioles, so.
Yeah.
Who's pitching for the O's?
Grayson Rodriguez.
Oh, yes. Okay, that might be a little pitcher's duel.
He struggles. He's
developing.
So.
He's developing. Give him some time.
I thought they were going to send him down. They sent.
They won't send
I
him
think
back.
Irving down. I think, but.
I don't know, man. There's some definitely some interesting pitching matchups tomorrow.
So let's start to talk about some key things that you're picking up on so far. So I want to kind of put it out there like in this manner.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a team, pitcher, or type of pick, I guess we could even say, if we want to leave it open to that you are tailing at all times, or that you keep an eye on or out for at all times, and then a pick that you also would fade, or a team that you're also fading at this point, or whether it be a pitcher that you're fading at this point, or anything moving forward, but something that you tail, something that you fade, and then I would say maybe just at this point, maybe not even gambling wise, but your biggest surprise up until this point with the MLB.
Trent, how about you start us off, because I know there's a certain trend you've been texting and making a lot of money off of. So.
Well, okay, so team, yes, making sure
team
I'm on
totals,
the same page.
I took it today.
Team total, I'm telling you right now, Orioles team total.
Yeah.
You're getting them for consistently 3.5.
Yep, that's what it was today.
4.5. To sometimes late, they even jump to like 5 at times.
Yeah.
But if you get on it early in the day before first pitches start, you could probably get them for anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 runs.
Yeah.
I think I have taken it. I have to go back and look at the actual statistics, but I've taken it almost every single game for the Orioles this year. I have only missed. I committed to being a fan, right? I have only missed one game on TV so far.
There you go.
Even had a game up on my phone while enjoying a beverage at our local craft brewery, Trogs. So I would go Orioles team total on the runs is a excellent go-to for me lately. So that would be what I'm tailing consistently.
Tyler?
I'd say tailing consistently. I've gone back to the White Sox. I think with Tony La Russa leaving, I think it's kind of let the White Sox be the White Sox again, which has been kind of nice, for me in a lot of ways. I like to, if you can ever find the White Sox with a first 5 plus a half a run, I'm usually taking that no matter what. And that's simply because, like I said, now I know they're missing, Anderson for a couple games here with an injury, but they can hit the ball. You know what I mean? Like, you're usually going to at least get them to tie or something. Something I also keep an eye on, too, is Blue Jays. If you can get them a +1.5, which is rare, but they are one of the top teams. I think they might be first in terms of hits per game. If you can get them as a first 5 as well. But then, I don't know, pitcher-wise,
you don't have to go all of them. You can just give us one. That's okay.
You want me to tell you everything? No.
Yeah, you can. You can just give us one thing. I mean, I went team total. It's okay.
No, I like the.
You
I
like
the
a
first
lot of
5
things.
I do. No, the other team that I like to watch especially is the Rays, but pitching wise, I like to look at McClanahan. So he's a guy that I keep an eye on in terms of strikeouts, things of that sort. But yeah, I definitely like Rays, Blue Jays, and White Sox as teams that I like to bet on. So
Tyler, can I say that you are in such a pickle tomorrow? Pickle, right?
Yeah.
You got.
What's the pickle joke?
Pickle is a rundown. It's a baseball term.
Okay. All right. I'm like,
gosh, guys,
I'm like,
come on,
I
get your
figure it out. I was like,
get your heads out of the gutter. I mean, Jesus.
Sorry, Trace.
Anyway, you have McClanahan going against the Blue Jays tomorrow, and the Blue Jays are being given a half a run in the first 5. So I will be interested to hear. Maybe you just avoid it.
Yeah,
maybe you just avoid it, but that's always tricky.
The Blue Jays are pitching a guy I don't like to bet with, and that's Manoah.
Yeah.
I think
What a shame because he was such a stud. Where was he with the A's?
He was. Yep. He was.
No, he was always with, he was with the. He was always with the.
No, they picked him up last year, Trey.
Yeah, he was with the
Who?
A's. No, Trent, you're thinking of Manaea.
You're thinking of Sean Manaea.
Yeah, not Manoah.
Alec Manoah was always with the Jays.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of the guy.
Manaea's the guy with the long hair.
And the cool tattoo in his arm.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. Right. I don't like to bet on Manoah, so I'll probably look at McClanahan for that. But we'll see.
What's with those bats? All right, Trey. What is your tailing trend or team?
It's not necessarily what I tail. I don't have a consistent tailing team or I don't know. The only thing I would say is that I only bet over unders in baseball.
Agreed. I'd agree with that.
Yes, you do. I'm okay with it.
And you know what, though, is I try something new every year, and it's the only thing I have the most success in. So I'm not going to change. I go through cold streaks, I go through hot streaks, but at least it's something that I have success in, and that's
the only
time I was frustrated was when, the over-under was 13. You're like, over 13. And I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Got to score two touchdowns to cover this one.
Okay,
that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
But you know what? The minute I bet the under on that, they scored 20 fucking runs in the game. So
sorry to our audience members who
we'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it
our
out.
We're
kids.
not bleeping it out because you know how hard I have to find that to bleep it.
Well,
Sorry. Or hey, over under would be 6.5. Trey be like, I'll take the under. 6.5.
Okay.
What?
Well, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow, I've already looked at tomorrow's board. There are some really, really good pitching matchups. I saw one that's 7 runs. Gallon.
It's Alcantara and Gallon.
Yeah, I already took.
Trust me, Trent. I've been looking at it.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you want to take it a while, I already took the no run in the first inning. So
no run in the first inning, dude. Oh, that is not a good. That is not a good bet to take this year.
Okay,
have you looked at the statistics with that right now?
Hey,
no run first inning is not hitting.
That was last year.
Hold on,
that was last year.
Time out. This sounds like a beer bet.
I will beer bet that because I have Diamondbacks Marlins over 7.
What? Whoa.
Yep.
I'm not doing the over 7.
That's fine.
I'll do both.
Go look at their ERAs.
Whew,
they're both around 5.
Tyler, look who Gallon pitched against the first 2 weeks. The Padres and the Dodgers.
Okay. All right.
You don't wait.
So Trent, you're not going to take the over 7.
You're not. Hold on, I'm asking you. You're looking at Gallon as the weak link.
I'm looking at both those teams being able to hit around.
The Marlins.
Yes.
Ooh, man.
No way.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie though. I don't forget this, Tyler. You and I caught onto this. When you do
trap bets.
happen, what's that?
No, I thought you were gonna say about trap bets.
Oh no. I was gonna say a good alternative to the no run in the first inning if you're on something like that, or even a run in the first inning. Don't forget that you can pick first inning result tie, usually for a little less juice.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there. All right, let's keep this going. Trey, you gave us over-unders.
Let's not schmooze over the fact because I need to revenue my beer bets. So
are
Tyler,
you
in
Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in on this.
I do.
Wait, I didn't make one yet. Are you saying no run?
I will bet you no first run in the first inning, and I will bet the under for each a beer bet.
Whoa, that's 2
So
beer bets.
Under
Tyler.
7.
Yes, under 7 and no run in the first inning.
Oh boy.
Deal.
Okay. And
all right.
Okay.
And,
no, I'm
whoa.
good with that. No, I don't know. I was getting greedy.
Take it a while. It's on FanDuel.
Dude, right. I cannot believe that, Tyler. I am like.
I took it minus 146, and I'm going to make that my pick just so Tyler has to bet it. I'm just
good.
kidding.
Thank you, Trent. I like that. But no, to complete the thought on trends on bets. So I'm an over/under better, as you guys know.
Yes.
It's not that I have a particular team that I like to bet on. I'd say the two teams I like betting under on.
I'm an over/under better. I'm 29 years old. I like long walks in the meadows.
Shut up. Two teams I like to bet the unders on are the Cardinals and the Mariners.
Yeah.
But the thing
Cardinals
here's the thing that I fade, or I will fade.
Oh, you're going to start us off with the fades.
Yeah, because
then we'll go back with it.
I'll tell you why I'm not a fade. It's because I've been betting the opposite. And that is any game involving the Braves in the under.
Gosh, yes.
I think I'm very the Braves and those bets, we don't mesh well, man.
Yeah, they don't. So whenever you start to feel like
to
you would take the under, just take the over, Trey.
The Braves just literally
exactly, Trent. Yeah.
There are people out there that fade themselves and have success.
The contrarians.
I've tried that before, and then I get even more messed up. What the hell?
You're like, am I fading myself, or is this what I think?
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like a mind game.
Yeah.
I go into the shrink's office and be like, "Oh, listen, sir.
Don't fade yourself too much."
Right? Exactly. So that's a warning to everyone out there. Don't fade yourself.
All right, Tyler. What are you fading?
Short, sweet, fade Mets. Period.
Ooh, whoa, wow. That's early. I
don't give a shit, dude. The Mets.
They're starting to turn it. They're turning the corner. Maybe
I was going to say.
Well, they're playing the A's. That's like
because
T-ball.
Well,
T-ball
hold on.
team.
I do have one other fade team, and this has been a fade team now for 2 years, and I'm just leaving them on there because I don't trust anything about them.
Don't tell them because it might be my fade.
Well, it's the Royals.
Who? Royals? Oh yeah, those are tough.
Royals is another team I never like.
What a
Royals,
last name, Bubick.
Bubick hair.
Oh boy, here we go.
That's the name of Trey's cockfighter, Bubick.
Okay. Anyway, well, this conversation.
That's all right. Do you remember real quick, Eastbound and Down? You remember when Kenny Powers was doing cockfighting?
Yeah. He needs to fade his pubic hair. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. I would say the team that I am going to fade. I never can get them right, no matter whether it's first five, whether it's over unders, whether it's run line, money line, anything. The Phillies.
Yeah, this year's been tough, man.
Phillies, and I would even say a close second for me is honestly the Yankees. The Yankees are tough, and then I feel like they should be an easy win or over.
Yankees aren't tough for me,
but yeah, that's we saw. But yeah, I would say the Phillies are my fade. Almost an automatic when I see a pick for our account for the Phillies, I get pretty nervous because I guess as long as it's not me taking it.
I completely agree with that. The Phillies are so
well, and what stinks is you want to cheer for them, especially because I'll be honest with you, I started out early in this guy's career, I couldn't stand him, but you like Bryce Harper, and granted he's not playing right now. It just makes you want to cheer for him, but yeah, they're I'm not touching them. Just saying that right now.
That's so. You know what's funny? You know who I've been struggling with in terms of capping? I haven't made it a bet yet. Is their pitcher Taijuan Walker?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
let's say Aaron Nola.
No, but you know who Taijuan Walker used to pitch for?
Yeah, the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go.
But he's a unique because he's a lot of junk type pitcher.
Dude,
he's not
2 years ago, I had a ton of success with Taijuan Walker when he played for the Mets. And
let's be real though, none of the races are throwing killer stuff, and heck, when they do have their stuff, guess what? Their bats are dead.
Yeah.
Yep. They hit it. They clicked at the right time last year to make that run.
Dude, the fact that Aaron Nola is 0-2 right now is absurd.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because this is
14
the
to
story of
nothing
his
today,
this is
guys.
the story of his career, Tyler.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Trust me. As an Aaron Nola fantasy owner for the last 5 years in the keeper league for fantasy baseball, it has been nothing but frustrating.
So you own Aaron Nola and the Packers.
Whoa. Okay. I'm talking fantasy baseball. I own Aaron Nola in the keeper league. I'm an actual owner of the Green Bay Packers, so a little bit of a difference. And we'll get to the Packers later.
We don't have to, though.
But no, okay. Well, I kind of want to, but
anyway, not yet. But let's go. Biggest surprise. I'm going to go quick on this one as best I can. I think a surprise team for me is actually the Cubs. The Cubs are hot, man. I have tailed them on the first 5 run line the past 2 nights against the Dodgers.
Sorry, I just took a sip and there's drooled out my mouth there.
Oh. First 5. Their bats are good. They have a couple pretty good pitchers. I mean, they're kind of a rebuild, in my opinion. Or at least I would have thought they were a rebuild. They're actually doing quite good right now with their bats.
Did you take them today?
Yeah, I did.
Did they cover?
Yep, they did. They were as last time I checked, it was 1-0. That game is over now. Oh, they lost tonight, 2-1. They lost. I mean, they ended up blowing it late with the Dodgers, but in the first 5, they're pretty strong. Interesting stat though about the team that they played tonight. I don't know if you guys. I shared this, I think, with Tyler. Dodgers have won in the past 2 seasons, close to right now with the win tonight, close to about 118 to 120 regular season games so far in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And over 110 of those wins have covered the run line. So that's pretty remarkable stuff.
That's a wild stat.
Sorry, my surprise Cubs right now. I still think Guardians are.
Who?
I like them as the
Who?
Cleveland team.
Oh, Cleveland team.
Cleveland team. I still like them as my potential World Series team. I think they had a pretty. I don't think they won the series, but I like what they showed against the Yankees recently. So that's where I'll go. Cubs were my good surprise, though. But I'm happy with what I see from the Cleveland Guardians.
Who'd you say your fade was?
Fade was the Phillies.
Phillies. All right. So Trey, who's your surprise?
In general in MLB.
Yeah, just anything in the MLB. Could be a player. Could be a team.
I think what I'm most surprised about is how well the AL East has performed. I would say. It's not even that I'm surprised. It's just that they have actually lived up to their hype.
Yeah, but who's your surprise bet thing?
Jeez.
It doesn't have to be, but it's okay. It could just be a sports talk. And he said AL East. That's your Rays, your Yankees, your Orioles,
the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays. That's a tough division, man.
Just to
your worst team is the Red Sox, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're 500. So they have a plus 100 run differential as a conference or as a division.
Wow. That's pretty incredible.
65 of those come from the Rays, but still. Their win loss, let's see, 23 plus 15 is what? 30, they're 50 and 25 as a conference. Or as a division. I keep misspeaking, but still, I think that's my biggest surprise is just how successful they've been. And I think they're going to continue to be successful because you got the Rays, who top team, Yankees, who are a stud roster, Orioles, who are an up-and-coming team, and then the Jays, who just score runs.
Dude, the fact that they're all on that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, they all almost have a winning record.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's pretty remarkable.
There's only one other division that can say they have more than one team that has a winning record. So
my my surprise, I'll give you a team as a surprise, but I'm going to give you a person to keep an eye on in terms of gambling too as a surprise. Comes from that team. My surprise is the Pirates.
Yeah.
Pirates are 9-6. They're second in the NL Central right now. So all the Yinzers out of Pittsburgh, man, in that beautiful PNC Park. But
I know, right?
my surprise guy to kind of work your bets with is the guy that's pitching tomorrow, and that's Mitch Keller.
Okay.
Mitch Keller has 17.2 innings pitched. He is 1-0. He has 22 strikeouts right now. So he's actually a guy that, depending on the team, I would look at taking the Pirates as a first 5. If you can get them at a +0.5 a run when Mitch Keller pitches, I'd say you're in good hands.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And good pitches. But yeah, Mitch Keller's my guy. He's been a guy I've been following, I think, for the last 2 years. So, but he started off pretty strong this year, so he hasn't let me down yet. But we shall see.
All right, Pirates and Cubs, same division, correct?
Wild, man. Yeah.
Correct.
Cubs make me nervous as shit, man. Oh.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
I think
right
it's because
now.
I'm like scarred from the past.
Yeah.
Like in the
Makes
past,
sense.
I feel like the Cubs have just like screwed me up. They've been like the Royals to me.
Well,
Where-
I mean, I'll tell you what, Tyler. Don't put too much faith. I don't think they're going to continue this.
No, I know.
Success, but-
yeah.
Well,
Mitch Keller is a great-
they'll trade everybody. Mitch Keller will
Right.
be a Red Sox by the end of the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Wow.
Mitch Keller will make his way to the AL East somehow.
It's like Tyler Anderson. I mean, Tyler Anderson was a great pitcher for the Pirates too.
Dude, it's to put it this way, is baseball needs to have a salary cap because right now the rich just keep getting richer.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of these MLB teams are farm teams for them. I mean,
You made that point
Pirates.
yesterday too with that conversation
Yeah.
we had with that guy.
Pirates are a farm team to the MLB. Orioles, I hope to God it changes, but they are a farm team to the MLB.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
I hope not. I'm hoping not. But I mean, the way that their owner said, "Oh, it's going to be really hard to
But the
pay
other
all
thing
these
was, Trent,
guys."
is
And stuff.
here's the thing, though, is one of the teams with the highest payroll, the Yankees, also have one of the best farm systems. Like it's not just
Yeah, but Trey, they can buy whoever the hell they want.
yeah, but they also have
Same
one of
thing
the
with
best
the
farm
Padres.
systems.
Same thing with the Dodgers. Same thing with like. It's the same teams. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's frustrating as
Well,
shit, man.
what about the Astros? Why aren't those teams winning it then? You know what I mean? Like why aren't the Dodgers and the Yankees winning the World Series?
Wait,
I know the
wait,
Dodgers did.
Astros just won it, and Dodgers
No,
won it.
I know, but the
He's
Astros
saying
don't have
Astros
this
did.
monumental. Yeah, I'm saying they don't have this monumental payroll that the Dodgers and Yankees.
No, they
and
stole all the signs.
quite
again.
frankly,
Because they got trash cans.
Quite frankly, the team that we don't talk about, with the payroll is the Mets, who have set a MLB record with how much they're paying their players, and what do they have to show for it?
I'm not
That's why they're on
disagreeing
my
with
do
that.
not bet list.
But yeah, but you guys are saying the MLB needs a salary cap.
It does
how
need a
about they
cap.
win? How about they win without the cap?
It needs some sort of structure. You can't just have things be a free for all. I know that a lot of people make the argument that like the cap doesn't exist in the NFL. And
Right,
there
I was
are
just say, why don't they just convert everything to bonus then, like
So-
the NFL does?
well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many ways around it, but when you don't have to work around it, it just makes it so much more
Listen,
like in your
Trey,
face.
You're the only one that's an actual NFL owner. Then you change it, darn it.
It's true.
Jeez.
no, I don't necessarily
Go to the
need
damn
to.
meeting.
Get the deal done,
Jeez.
please. I'm so
I
sick
don't
of
necessarily
the.
need to because
Talk to Dan Snyder.
as an owner now, I kind of appreciate the loopholes that I can work around them. So
Loopholes.
Why aren't you paying? Yeah, then why aren't you paying your boy Aaron Rodgers? Jeez.
Yeah, jeez.
well, we're gone. We're done with it.
Oh.
Done with it.
Are you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like what's going to happen here, though. It's going to be a pretty spicy draft night because I don't.
Talking
I
about when
think
San Fran
that-
gets Aaron Rodgers.
Honestly, I'm not
San Fran gets
disagreeing with
A-Rod?
that because I don't think the Jets are budging on that 13th pick.
They're both
And
not
I think
budging. They're both.
the
They're both
are
so
Packers are
firm.
begging for it.
Something's gonna have to give. Because
I want to know.
otherwise, John Lynch is going to come in, give a little quick smoozer, and he's going to take Aaron Rodgers right out from underneath him.
Okay, so we've
For 1
transitioned
year.
here. We've transitioned. Good smooth transition, guys. We're into football. No going back now.
If you want to keep this podcast civil, we transition away.
Okay. Well, no, because here's my topic: is true or false? Ready for this? I saw this the other day.
Oh, here we go.
Doesn't matter the quarterback, whether it's Sam Darnold, whether it's Brock Purdy, or whether it's Trey Lance. True or false? Niners are a playoff team with any of those three quarterbacks.
False.
Wow, I say true.
False.
They're
2 out of 3.
Wow.
2 out of 3.
Ooh, disagree. Then Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy, they make it.
Wrong. I say Trey Lance or Brock Purdy. I have not been on Sam Darnold since he came out of college. They were all over it. Dude, it is literally Mark Sanchez 2.0.
I don't think it matters.
That's literally who he is.
If I was Tyler, first of all, I don't even want to comment on the 49ers. But
he's such an angry little man.
He is.
But if I was Tyler, I would pray with everything I have that it was anyone but Trey Lance.
Trey Lance isn't going to be a Niner by next year come draft night.
As he shouldn't be.
What, you mean like you're saying tonight? Or this year?
If your franchise wants to be successful, you move on from Trey Lance.
Trey Lance gets traded draft night, probably to the Titans. Or, hold on, the Texans. Because can I tell you why? Because now that Schefter reported the other day, the Texans are not in on a quarterback at their draft spot. Why else would you not be in on a quarterback at where you're picking right now if you don't have a quarterback?
Can I say why?
Go ahead. You can tell me why. My prediction is that
I do have the answer as to why. Because
DeMeco Ryans wants Trey Lance.
No, I don't think it's that.
That's my prediction.
Hold on. The Panthers have the first overall pick, correct?
Correct.
What they're trying to do is the Panthers are trying to, because a lot of people know that the Texans are big on one of the two, Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. And what the Panthers are trying to do is they're trying to make it seem like they're going to be interested in the guy that the Texans want. And they're trying to get the Texans to trade from 2 to 1, right? To stop. They're toying with them. So now what the Texans did in return was, hey, we're not even sure if we're taking a quarterback at this point. So it's a bluffing game at the top.
I don't know, man.
You know, quarterbacks are going 1 and 2. Texans take a quarterback. So do obviously the Panthers. They're going to take a quarterback, but
I do think the top 2 quarterbacks who's like said with Stroud and Young.
Yeah,
I think that they're the worst of, I would say, let's say top 5. I'd say they're the worst 2.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I'm going to keep draft stuff.
I know.
As much under wraps as possible for a future show.
That's
but
fine.
What other NFL topics do we have to speak about other than? I mean, what do you got out there? I mean, you got OBJ, the underdog, who went to the same high school as the Manning brothers, a full ride to LSU, who's just an underdog story, right? Sorry, that's quite a bit of sarcasm. Who recently signed with the Ravens. I thought that was a interesting little story of Lamar Jackson saying, go get me DeAndre Hopkins, go get me Odell Beckham, and then I'll come to the table and talk.
Yeah.
Well, one piece has been picked up. I don't know if they're moving anywhere on that other one.
I think Lamar is franchise. I think he goes to the franchise this year with a franchise tag. And I think after that, I think it's 1 year thing. I think OBJ is like a Band-Aid. If that makes sense. I think he's a Band-Aid because if
Yeah.
if they don't have Lamar there,
Covers the owie, doesn't heal it.
yeah,
Right?
I mean, yeah, honestly though, like if OBJ has anybody else as a quarterback there that's currently there, I mean, they're a garbage team. They don't even. I bet they're last in
Woo.
their
Bold
division.
prediction.
So,
It's a championship defense.
What pick do the New Orleans Saints have in this draft?
Didn't they trade something with the Raiders?
I'm working on it right now. I didn't trade anything with the Raiders.
Because I have a far-fetched prediction in terms of Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, to this.
Not the Saints.
Yeah, that's super far fetched. If anything, he's a Colt.
I could see that.
No. I'm just listen. Hear me out.
Well, they're not.
I think Lamar Jackson is going to be an Atlanta Falcon.
I can see that.
And I also think that one of his stipulations is that the Falcons trade for Alvin Kamara.
Ooh. All right.
Alvin Kamara is an ATL boy in his heart. I think
Alvin
How do you figure that though?
Because I think his uncle is one of the Migos who is reps Atlanta.
So here's your deal, Trey. Ready for this?
Just hear me out. So I
No,
think
I wanna-
Kamara is at the lowest of his trade value right now.
Okay.
With his pending charges and everything, he probably won't even play this year.
Pending. I was going to say he shouldn't play this year.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints would have the 10th pick overall. However, that was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, correct. Okay.
So the New Orleans Saints
Eagles have the 10th pick.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they have the 30th pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
gosh.
It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And you know what? They're gonna land Buda Baker. Oh, that's the other person we want to talk about. Saints have the 29th pick overall from San Francisco through Miami, and Denver.
Of course, we traded everything in the first 2 rounds for like the next 3 years.
Well, you don't need anything really.
We do.
Not McCaffrey even to get Trey Lance. That's where they traded a lot of. Remember, they had to move all the way up to get that.
God, what a waste.
It hurts. Yeah, it hurts. But all right. So what else we got NFL wise?
No, I mean the Buda Baker thing was the other. He requested a trade today. It's interesting timing with a new coach that is 100% sold on Kyler Murray. I honestly think that that Cardinals team is so divided that you have like Kyler Murray guys and you have not Kyler Murray guys. And if you bring a new coach in right now and that is like, oh, Kyler Murray's our dude, like he's the guy. I don't know. I feel like you're going to see guys like Buda Baker, who's a phenomenal safety, be like, all right, well, see ya. Like, we're not going to win here.
Right.
Especially in a division like the NFC West, which is competitive. With Seattle, with San Fran, with the Rams, like, they're all competitive.
Yeah. I think that is one organization that's in a very, very – they're in a rough spot.
Well, and guys like DeAndre Hopkins, they want out.
Yeah.
Like,
and he will get out.
He will. That's the thing. It's like, where's he go?
I hate to say it, but he might be wearing he might be up in the Boston area in New England this year.
No, you know where he might go?
Ooh.
You know where he might go?
I hope silver and black.
Denver.
Oh,
watch that happen.
Trade, tell me you did not think Tyler was going to say the Niners, because everybody goes to the Niners, he says.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
No.
I was about to freak out.
Well, I'll tell
I
you
definitely
what,
wouldn't say the Packers because they
very,
don't get any weapons for their quarterback. So
the fact that
Just saying.
Buda Baker requests a trade, Lamar Jackson requests a trade, Saquon Barkley is sitting out until he signs his tender, and then who's the linebacker down in Tampa requested a trade.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Devin
it is. I don't know. I mean, you guys could maybe add on to this, but this whole contract thing is it pointless nowadays? I think Anthony Davis started it all with the Pelicans.
I feel like that's nothing.
Because honestly, if a guy says,
explain your Anthony Davis thing,
because
you switch
because
sports
that was
on us.
no, but I'm trying to find the root behind when did this all start, where guys are signing these major contracts and then say, I don't like it here. Anthony Davis was one of the first to do it. You guys could correct me if you could think of somebody else. I'm not saying that's etched in stone. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure he was one of the first major superstars that has this super max contract in his sport, and he just says, I want out, trade me somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to play. I mean, who else has done it before him? I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Trent, you're correct. I mean, like you said, a contract means nothing nowadays.
Yeah, it's done.
All a contract does is it's a way to pay a player. It doesn't mean you have to stay where you're at. It doesn't mean nothing's going to change in terms of how much money you're going to get paid year to year. Like, all that a contract does is just almost really just guarantee what a player is going to get paid, because that's essentially, it doesn't matter. They have to stay at the same team.
Depends on from who.
Well, not even that. It really doesn't. Like Trent said, Anthony Davis was the first one to do it, but look at Aaron Rodgers. Didn't even know if he was going to play. Mm-hmm. Now he signed a 3-year deal where he's getting paid $45 million a year, and he's not even fulfilling the second year of that contract.
Yeah,
like he played one shoddy year.
So let's say this: if he retires, does he get all that money then?
No.
Right. Okay. So somebody's going to pay it as long as he plays.
Yeah, the Jets
will. No.
Oh.
Who'd you say?
If he doesn't get traded, the Packers will.
But I'm saying he's going to get traded.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Right. So Trey, what you're saying is if he's on the Packers still,
if I can add anything to that, Trey, I do hope he stays. Like that's where I thought Brett Favre screwed up. Was he left?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers is Packers don't have to trade him, right? So he's under contract. They can pay him $53 million this year. But if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come to training camp, that's one thing he's missed on his contract. And then if he doesn't show up to, like, I think it's like mandatory, there's something else. If he doesn't show up to, that's 2 out of 5 things that he's missing on his contract. So they wouldn't have to pay him the $53 million.
It'd be less.
Okay.
It would be less because it would be significantly less too.
Right.
It's not. So, and if that's the case, if he doesn't get traded, then guess what? He's going to training camp. He's building a relationship with these young these young wideouts, and who knows? Maybe he does freaking play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll just be honest with you. That's going to be the way to go. That you're going to see these teams. These teams are if they start to catch on, and I think it's even beneficial to the players. Is there shouldn't be. Now the
There's
Mahomes,
going to be a lot of stuff in the contracts.
Well, no, Mahomes deal is unique. Now, let me clarify what I want to get to here. Is I think the max amount of years that you could sign a guy right now to be safe for yourself is 3 years. Like, don't go anything past it, because if a guy wants out, well, okay, you don't make it 1 year, because then you're just in the renegotiation stages all over again.
Every year.
But so I really like somebody who did, I thought, a great deal this past year was Laramie Tunsil. I mean, he's with the Texans, which is obviously a terrible team to be with right now if you're looking to win. But your 3-year deal, $75 million, where he's got $60 million guaranteed. So, okay, guess what? Hey, I play this year. I have $60 million of my $75 million contract, which, guys, that's an offensive lineman making $75 million.
Let's be honest, though, Trent.
But, that's unreal. That to me is an ideal contract. Is, okay, hey, you know what? I put in a year and a half. Do you guys want to trade me? Okay, yeah, there's a team that's willing to pick up a big offensive lineman who's capable of protecting a franchise quarterback. So I'm just saying, I think the 3 years, or 2 to 3, might be your max length in the future.
You also have to realize
what's nice with Laramie Tunsil is he has a fallback career in hazmat.
Yeah, with all this
He's
gas.
he's familiar with wearing gas
But
masks.
let's be honest though. Like, look at some of these guys. Some of these guys though, like, okay, Trent, you mentioned offensive linemen. These are offensive linemen. These are not prima donna skill receivers. These are not prima donna quarterbacks. Prima donna running backs. These are the hard nosed working dudes at linemen.
Yeah, and you know what, Tyler? Ultimately, they're the ones that should be getting paid that kind of money.
Exactly,
Because
they're the ones that
what?
protect everybody.
Right. If you
Bias
don't have
aside,
an
I mean, I'm an
offensive line,
lineman, Trent's a lineman. Like,
if you don't
holy hell,
have an offensive line, your team is obsolete.
yeah.
Look at the Cincinnati Bengals before they finally got something. Some help. Some help.
Yeah, some. I was gonna say
some help.
Yeah.
And look how good they are with some help.
Yeah.
Look at the Dallas Cowboys before they had all these skill players. It was their offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott.
Dude,
it was that. That's all it was.
And way back in the day with the Cowboys, like they were huge.
And the Steelers. I think they were another team that
absolutely. But like take guys like Bakhtiari, right, from the Packers.
Yeah.
Huge guy.
Okay.
He's an X factor, right?
Yeah.
He deserves to be paid.
When he's healthy, yeah.
And
he's so unhealthy.
Right?
Yeah.
Trent Williams, huge guy, X factor, deserves to be paid. Like, I don't know. I mean, you need to. I don't know. It's one of those things where those are the guys that need to be paid, and it's funny because those are not the guys that like sit there and we're like, well, you know what, Coach, I'm sitting out because I'm not getting this kind of money. You know why? Because they're like the blue collar guys of the game.
Yeah. You know what? The more and more money that gets thrown in there, guys will catch on.
But at the same time, though, like
I hope not. But
you also look at guys too. Even okay, take for instance, like it's not even just linemen. There are actual football players out there though that like understand that this is not like about me. Like, how many times did Tom Brady restructure his contract to win 7 Super Bowls? How many times?
Yeah.
You know,
Big Ben too, and I don't like him. But
right, and like look at guys like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow recently came out. He's like, listen, I know I should make a ton of money, but guess what? That's not what is not like going to keep my team.
Yeah.
Like that's not going to keep Jamar Chase. That's not going to keep Joe Mixon. That's not going to keep this guy, that guy, the other guy. It's like some of the guys get it. It's like
I get say,
so
though,
frustrated with that stuff where it's like, oh, it's me, it's my money, and I understand that because you're one person. But like, if you want to actually, if you truly want to be a championship person, then you got to sacrifice for the team. It is not about you. And that's why I struggle sometimes with this Lamar Jackson thing is like, is he good? Yeah, he's good. Is he, I mean, he's negotiating his own thing. Is he looking for something that I'm like, wow, man, like, dude, why don't you just chill for a second? Like, take something a little bit less. Like, he's using Deshaun Jackson, Deshaun Watson.
I'm so sick of talking about him. Like,
no, but he's using Deshaun Watson as his as his measuring stick.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well,
man.
it's not even that. I think it's just Deshaun Watson. Whoever Deshaun Watson's agent is deserves to be the highest paid agent. The fact that he sold the Browns on that and got what he did that was unbelievable.
For somebody that didn't play for like almost 2 years.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, can I just to sum up the lineman thing is as much as you want to talk about quarterbacks and receivers needing chemistry. That I'm telling you right now.
Protection.
Anybody in football. Okay, and I'm just going to say this: the greatest athletes, right? That quote by Paul George today was, "Oh, there's a bunch of NBA players that could play in the NFL, but not nearly as many NFL players that could play in the NBA." Okay, which I agree with. I totally agree with. But the thing is, that's because, those guys could maybe throw, those guys could catch. But if you put those guys in the position of, hey, I have to move another 300-pound man against his will from point A to point B, none of those guys that play in the NBA are going to do it.
No.
Hell, I'll be honest with
Most
you.
Of them are soft
You
as
even
shit.
throw ready. I'm going to make a bold statement. You throw a Shaq in there. You throw him fresh from the basketball court onto the football field. He gets made to look silly.
No,
Here you go. Ready? Ready? Prime example here.
Disagree,
All-American wrestler, heavyweight UFC champion, Brock Lesnar. And granted, I don't want to be on his bad side because I'm a big fan, but the guy.
Sorry, Brock.
The guy was
just
the
Trent,
guy looks
not us.
the guy looks silly. Did he
Trent,
not though?
Trent Baker.
Just Trent Baker, not us.
Yes.
Just Trent Baker.
Trent's the only
Bald with a beard. Bald with a beard. Just look for the bald beard guy.
No, but he's.
His name is Trent.
His name's Trent.
Anyway.
Yep.
But am I not making a
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
That's I'm trying to actually reinforce your argument, Tyler. Is guys cannot do that for a living, and that's why these guys do deserve to be paid as much as they much as they can get.
Okay, Trent. So say you pay. All right. Okay. In the same breath.
Go ahead. Okay, don't breathe.
And you give Shaq a whole off season to prepare to be an offensive lineman. You give a whole off season for an offensive lineman to be an NBA player. Who succeeds better in their season?
I don't know. I mean, that kind of depends.
It would be Shaq.
I disagree.
Shaq,
I don't know, man, because
if you give him a whole off season of teaching the basics of offensive linemen, you're telling me he wouldn't be more successful than an offensive lineman who's never played basketball?
No, Trey. Because Trey, can I explain why?
Crazy.
Can I explain why?
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
So if you take a guy, are we saying similar size?
Okay, so let's use Trent Williams.
Same exact measure.
Just use Trent Williams. Use Trent Williams as your guy.
Yeah, so let me talk. So if you give a guy with similar measurables, he might not have the finesse to score the ball, but he's going to have fouls to give. He's going to be able to play defense, and he's going to be able to get rebounds. So, yeah, I do believe the offensive linemen are going to do better than taking a basketball player and making them play offense line. See,
Shaq. We're not talking about a basketball player. I said Shaq.
It might be, though, an older game versus a newer game.
You're telling me for 4 seconds, Shaq can't put his hands on a player, stun him with all of his fucking might and power.
Shaq couldn't shoot free throws,
so... The quarterback...
Can I just say something?
The quarterback completes the slant.
Well, Trey, here's the difference: is the way that you just described offensive line play and what goes into it is a total falsehood. Yep. You're not just going to throw your hands and punch somebody in the chest and it's over. Okay.
Depending on the play, you might be able to.
No.
Trent.
No.
And there's a whole offense around
that. I love this. Offense. I'm not going to lie. This is a response. This is phenomenal. This is taking the Paul George statement and amplifying it to the trenches. Because no, I don't think. I think it is easier. I think it's easier to pick up and play basketball as a big guy than have a basketball player try to play the big guy on
not just
football.
A basketball player. I'm talking about the same specs, like height, weight, muscular build.
I don't know,
I'm not sitting here and saying
Trent Williams has a better NBA season than Shaq does in the NFL.
I think I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
No.
I'd agree with that.
No,
I'd agree with that because you can box out, you can get rebounds, you can post up, and you can put a ball off the hoop.
You must listen to Edgar Allan Tyler. And his floating head.
It's navy blue, and my beard is huge. So sorry.
No, I disagree with you guys. I think you give Shaq an off season, teach him some footwork, and how to use his body just to defend, just to block someone for maybe 5 seconds a play.
All right.
Have you seen some of these edge guys, Trey?
Yeah, dude. Those guys aren't even.
Trey, these edge. You're talking about edge defensive ends right now. Who run four?
Some of these NBA players that will make this guy look foolish.
Trey, they run 4-3. Trey, they run 4 threes.
What's he gonna do? Just shove him over?
Trey,
he can't do that. That's a foul.
Trey, they run 4 threes, and they're 260 pounds. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop that guy.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So
is anyone going to? Is anyone?
Yeah.
Going to?
Trent Williams is. Bakhtiari is.
Here we go. We're you're listening to one guy.
I just said 2 there, bud.
Well, because, Trey, there is no... And here's the thing. Your example of Shaq, which I picked Shaq because I mean, in terms of body size, he's the closest thing that you have in the NBA that's to an offensive lineman,
He's
correct?
7 feet 325.
Although I will say, what's his name? Lofton, who's he playing for?
The
NBA.
Grizzlies, I think.
I'm
the
just
Grizzly,
waiting for you to bring up
he's
Zion
close.
Williamson because Zion Williamson should have been a tight end in NFL,
Yeah.
Well,
not
there's tight ends
not
that-
in the NBA.
But Tyler, Zion Williamson can't stay healthy to play basketball. You think he's going to stay healthy to play football?
That's my point.
My
because
God,
he's
hell
completely
no.
overweight.
It's a joke.
He's completely overweight.
And I'm a Duke fan. It hurts to
He's
see.
overweight.
It's a joke.
He's overweight. He should be playing in
Yeah.
the NFL.
Yeah, but then he goes out and does some crazy dunks during warm-ups. But I'm able to do everything physically. I just won't be out there playing tonight.
It's kind of like Ben Simmons.
It's ridiculous. Okay, but now let's go to some.
Ben Simmons.
Can I get to another quick? It's actually a recent headline today. What are your thoughts on Steve Sarkisian naming Quinn Ewers the starting quarterback for Texas over Arch Manning? And my question to you is, give me your reaction, but then also give me, does Arch get the job throughout this year?
All right. Can I start this?
Yeah, I thought that was
started.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to make one comment, Tyler, and I think that you can capitalize on it. What I think it is, Trent, is listing Quinn Ewers as the starter is it's a safety net for Steve Sarkisian to keep his job if Texas doesn't start out well. Because before they fire him, guess what they're going to tell him to do?
Change quarterback.
Start Arch Manning
Good point.
instead.
That's fair.
And then all of a sudden, he's got a second life at his job at Texas University. Because if they don't succeed this year, he's going to get fired.
Good
so
point.
it's a fallback, is all I think. But and it's an opportunity for Arch to compete and actually prove himself.
Yep. Okay, Tyler, I'll let you go, and then I'll ask you guys.
I'll just start with this. I think Arch Manning made a huge mistake by picking Texas, and that was so dumb. Especially with
Tennessee.
No, not even because especially with Steve Sarkisian as the coach, I think it was a stupid decision. He should have went to Ole Miss.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that's coming from a guy that is a Tennessee fan. Should he have gone to Tennessee? I would love that.
So
we also do have a 5-star recruit though at Tennessee, and sold 50,000 tickets.
That tall dude.
Yeah,
hold on, real
and
quick.
sold 50,000 tickets like in the first hour. So Tennessee's doing all right. But
I was watching
think
some
Arch
of
Manning,
Tennessee's spring practice. They still have Milton there.
Yeah,
he's back.
Yeah.
Milton's back for another year.
Yes.
Oh, then you guys will be fine. That dude's a stud. He'll be a stud for you.
I don't know if he's going to be the starter, Trent.
I do.
They might have the freshman be the starter there, dude.
All right. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your
I
take on this.
think the whole Arch Manning thing. I think Trey made a good point. I think that he's doing that as a starting point, but at the same time,
it's the safe thing to do.
But if you're not starting Arch Manning by the end of the year, guess what Arch Manning's going to do? Because he's going to make a ton of money wherever he goes.
Transfer portal.
He's going to transfer.
Do you think he does though? You really do?
If he's not the guy by the end of the year, yes.
I mean, Trent, his dad demanded a trade from the Chargers to the Giants because he didn't like San Diego. I think he would be willing to do that.
So here's where you just made a very bad error. That's his uncle.
Yeah.
Arch Manning is the son of the one brother that
Cooper.
did not play in the NFL.
Cooper.
Because of, I believe it's spinal stenosis.
Yes,
I think
it is.
he has.
It is, Trent. You're correct.
So sorry, Trey.
So I may have been wrong, but I may have
Okay, but can we also?
I do think he should have gone to Ole Miss, though.
So here's the thing, though, guys, is what that does for Arch Manning is let's say he does sit behind Ewers this year. There's no way he sits 2 years. That just won't happen, right?
No way. So
that was good, Trey. That was good.
Anyway,
that was good.
So then my next take is this: isn't it somewhat okay? Because then you're now taking 1 year off your clock to where you can enter the NFL draft and stay completely healthy. Do you know what I mean?
So you're saying that he only has to play 2 years?
Yeah, NFL teams already have Arch Manning on their radar. Let's be real. It's calculated out there. Let's be real. So it's like, okay, I'm going to sit here, make a ton of money, enjoy myself at Texas. When my number's called, my number's called. He's going to play 2 years, tear it up, and then go to the NFL. So I don't know. I just
teams won't be flopping this year. It'll be next year, is what you're saying.
Well, they're flopping. I'm hoping my Raiders. I hope they tank. I want Caleb Williams for sure.
You're not getting Caleb Williams, dude.
All right, so let's go. Can I?
You're not going to be that bad.
Yes, we are.
Dude, you got Jimmy Garoppolo. Dude, he's going to probably take you to the playoffs.
Doesn't matter. Tyler, Jimmy G doesn't have that security blanket of a defense.
He's got
and he doesn't have
Adams.
a Kyle Shanahan.
Tyler is as thirsty as a porn star for Jimmy G.
Whatever,
right,
man.
So
I
want to
bring up
a pretty good point. Maybe you guys will have something to add on to this, but this whole people are up in arms again about the transfer portal of college basketball. I love it. I do. I love it because you see stars not necessarily go to the NBA. I mean, granted, Tyler, we've both been hit by the transfer portal now. I mean, as Duke and Carolina fans, we've seen some of our better players, even young recruits, take it and go after 1 year.
Right.
But I was very.
You did see that Duke guy might come to Carolina, didn't you?
It's going to be Louisville, but
we'll see.
Because of Nolan Smith. If he goes to Carolina, that's fine. You guys need something. I mean, I'm just Armando Baycott.
Somebody sounds salty.
Oh, I'm not. We were in the tournament this year with a young crew. You guys had number one.
Gosh,
anyway,
getting personal.
But hey, at least Armando Baycott had a good minor role on the Outer Banks Netflix series season 3. I just saw him pop up on there, and his one line is, "We make money." Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. You don't make tournaments. That's for damn sure.
Oh man.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, so here's my take. Ready?
Trey, you and I argue about Packers and Niners all the time.
So I was very disappointed in a coach that I think we all kind of like was Fran McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He sat there and criticized, saying that all these mid-major programs, all they're doing is acting as like farm teams for the power, which, guys, Trey would be very happy to hear this. This is catching this is on all college basketball wavelengths now. They're just farm teams for the Power 6 conferences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's happening
now, huh?
Yes, it is. Which I agree. And honestly, but now here's my and this is. But hold on, I'm going to kind of use this. I'm going to use this once again to state why I'm so frustrated with this. Is for Fran McCaffrey to say, "Oh, these kids are just going to these mid-major schools, play a year or two, and then transfer to a bigger time school," and he has a problem with that. But it's like, okay, Fran, you were the head coach for 5 years at Siena and had your agent sell your ass to get hired at Iowa. Mm-hmm. You did the same thing. So, coaches do the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
Rules for me, but not for me.
And
and it also goes,
I just want to hear your guys' take on that, because that fired me up when I watched that interview. I was like,
you know that sounds like to me, Trent. That sounds like sour apples from Fran McCaffrey. I think that
sour
he's
apples.
upset that. I think he's upset that none of these top
What the hell kind of a comment is that? Sour apples?
Like, yeah, I don't know. I think
it makes sense. It makes sense.
I feel like it's sour grapes.
Maybe that. Either way, I think what it is that Fran McCaffrey's upset that none of these superstar transfer portal players want to go to Iowa to play basketball. And you know what? Sorry. Either create a winning program where you have players that may be showcased and you're going to be competing for championships every year in the Big Ten, or, I I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. Make Iowa more appealing.
Well, hold on though. Iowa's made the tournament. Like they're not like.
And Tyler, I'm not saying that, but what else is? You have to be a perennial powerhouse team. Like, why do people want to go to Gonzaga? Because they're always competing every year. And if you're so upset that
Who?
Gonzaga, whatever.
Gonzaga.
It's like tomato.
It's not.
Which we'll get back to that saying, but no. What I'm saying is it sounds like he's just very bitter.
Yeah, I mean,
sour apples
or grapes. Sour grapes. I definitely think it's grapes. It's not sour apple. There's no such thing as sour apple. Let's just talk about Granny Smiths.
There's absolutely a sour apple.
Definitely sour apples.
But that's not a saying.
Sour. We'll have to. Hey, listeners, tweet us the response. What is it? Sour apples or
sour grapes?
Yeah, all our listeners or listener singular plural. I don't know how many there are, but let us, Mom.
Mom, Dad.
we'll text Mom later.
Wives. No, but I don't know. I mean,
that was good, Trey. Mom.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm here's my thing is everyone said that initially about it, and then you sit there and get so 2 years ago, it was the blue blood Final Four of all blue blood Final Fours. But now this year, I mean, you get Florida Atlantic, you get UConn, you have San Diego State, you have Miami. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, I think, some of these, maybe Miami's a team. I mean, Miami paid essentially $800,000 to get Nigel Pack there. So maybe some of those teams are benefiting, but I don't know, man. I just think with basketball, like the way that you see the NBA, like there's so much talent out there that like these guys need somewhere to go. So you get more and more opportunities, whether it be at some of these mid-majors, and then, hey, you get an opportunity to move up to these big programs. I have no issue with that. Mm-hmm. Like, because how many of these big programs lose guys to the league after 1 year? So it's like, okay, it is what it is. Right?
I kind of look at it like if you got to start at a smaller program, right? Because guess what? Maybe your high school doesn't have the notoriety that some other high schools have. And I kind of look at it sometimes like guys might just use those schools as a stepping stone. And in this day and age, like that is a very viable thing. From football to basketball to like whatever sport you're playing, like sometimes you just don't have the notoriety in high school. And that's not necessarily the kid's fault. Sometimes it's just like the school, like, hey, guess what? Maybe we never had a Division I player from our school. So, but maybe you have like 5 guys that have been Division I. Well, guess what? Schools are going to look to your school again and be like, hey, who else come from the school? So I truly think it's more of a noticeable thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where you getting notoriety from?
Yeah, I agree.
So I have no problem guys going, say, from lower level to a higher level, but where I have a problem is when you get guys that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools, and that's why Trent, I think you mentioned like they actually put a cap on that now.
I think it's going to be if you transfer
more than twice, right?
More than twice. Then they're gonna start to
put a cap on.
I think that's where they might make you sit out a year.
Which I think is actually a phenomenal rule.
Yeah, because it's what it's starting to do is the thing with the whole transfer thing, in my opinion, is and with these, like I really don't understand these COVID years still. Like I just don't. I don't get it, and I just like I thought it was just the seniors that year that got a COVID year.
It's anybody,
but I guess it was, So it was anybody that was in school.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, I mean, speaking as a high school coach, you and I mean, it's really impeded on the ability of some schools to be like, they got guys that are going to stay.
It's recruiting.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hurt the high school athlete in that sense,
Mm-hmm.
which granted, and I guess that's what sucks about it all is like, as high school coaches, once again, we didn't get to see our athletes get a year back.
Right.
So they destroyed a 3 to 4 year window of athletes' opportunity to play at the next level. And they didn't think about it, even anybody outside of collegiate athletes at that point.
It didn't trickle down, and I think that's where you're seeing the issue is.
Yeah.
You know, some guys got hey, we were going to college. Oh, well, sorry, we don't have a spot for you now. Yeah. But like at the same time, it's like you're going to see that slowly phase out. But I think that's where we'll get to. So.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Oh man, I think we're good. I would definitely like to get into the hockey playoffs coming up. So we're going to look at getting a guest on here.
They start Monday.
Yeah, hockey playoffs, and I think we should have like a post-draft / NFL podcast as well coming up. Pre-draft.
Yeah.
Tyler, you did have one good statistic about, I believe it was the iPhone and the hockey playoffs, if you wouldn't mind sharing that with us.
Oh, yeah. So, being a guy that went to college the year the iPhone came out, in the city of Pittsburgh, the Capitals and the Penguins have not been in the hockey playoffs for the first time together since the iPhone came out, which would have been 06, 07. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's a pretty crazy stat.
Well, it's also kind of crazy to think about too. When I talked to some people and they're like, "Wait, you were in college when the iPhone came out?" I'm like, "Yeah." Feels like it's been here forever. Crazy. So yeah, it was iPhone 1, if you will.
Yeah, the iPhone.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're looking at getting a guest on for the hockey playoffs. That should lead us into some cool conversations. Obviously, NBA playoffs. We'll get into some of that stuff too and kind of see where teams are at. But we'll keep tracking baseball. Yeah, it's interesting time in sports here. And draft's coming up, so NFL draft.
Say slow time, but I enjoy it still.
It is. Hey, it's better than not having anything in 2020, man.
Exactly.
Where you have to start gambling on Russian ping pong, right?
Russian ping pong. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So, yeah, it was.
It's not even legal in the States anymore.
Dark times.
I literally was DVRing like 8 years ago March Madness games. Like,
dude, I had axe throwing, I had cornhole,
Korean
baseball. Dude, I was watching all that shit, dude. I even watched like marble chasing on ESPN one day. You remember that shit? Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
So. But, hey, everybody, thanks for listening. We will be back at it next week. New episode. Trent, Trey.
Heck yeah. Take it easy, guys.
See you guys.
Have a good day.